Hey guys, welcome to HRE Wheels. I am here out in Vista, California because I got a brand new set of wheels for my Corvette, and I'll show them to you right now. These are called HRE FlowForm FF01s, and they are 19 by 10 in the front with a 275 30R19 Michelin Pilot Super Sport tire, and in the back we have a 20 by 11 with a 295 20 inch Michelin Pilot Super Sport tire. We've got our Stop Tech brakes, 4-piston in the rear, 6-piston in the front, and these are the FlowForm wheels. So these wheels are cast, not forged like the wheels I have in my Mustang, also by HRE. They're very light, they're very strong, and hopefully we don't have issues with these wheels like we had with my last set of wheels with cracking and stuff like that. So I'll give you a little walk around. These wheels are designed by HRE here in California. They are made in Japan, and then they are sent back to HRE where they're finished in whatever color you choose. Lots of colors to choose from. I went with the anthracite. And as you can see, we'll come around the back here and we'll line it up. You don't want your wheels to stick too far out, so they line up really, really nice with the back of the car. New wheels are a very exciting thing. So now that the car's ready to drive, it's sad because I had problems with my wheels and I couldn't drive the car for like 8 months last year. I drove this car literally 5 times in the last year. Now I have good wheels. Now I'm ready to go, and I'm gonna drive this car a lot this summer. But what we should do first is hit the canyons and see how it drives. Okay, now that we've got our wheels installed from HRE, we're looking good. I've had the car detailed, and it's time to go for a drive. It's a Sunday, it's a little busy up here, so I can't go bonkers, but we're gonna run Latigo, and hopefully Latigo is really good. Also, I know the audio has been a little wonky with the one takes, so I'm just gonna try it with no lav. So if the audio is not great, I'm sorry. It's not for lack of trying different things. So let's see, what can Latigo do for us? This is probably my favorite road in the area. It's very technical. It's got about 2,500 feet of elevation change. So my new wheels are the FlowForm wheels by HRE. Are 3 pounds each lighter in the front and 1.5 pounds each lighter in the rear than my old wheels. And I replaced the old wheels because they kept cracking, which is not something you want from your wheels. And HRE assures me that these are very strong in addition to being very light. They're cast, not forged, and they're made in Japan. This road is extremely tight and technical. It's been a long time since I did anything with my Vette on camera, so just to review, it's a 98. I bought it new. It has about 30,000 miles on it, all of which are mine. It's been modified with various parts, and you can see the full list on my WheelWell page, but it's making about 420 horsepower at the wheels on pump gas. It has the FOT coilover system, FOT sway bars, big Stop Tech brakes, Sparco seats, harnesses, Sparco steering wheel, 4-point cage in the back, and it's running quite a loud exhaust system. Cook's long tube headers, Trick-Flow X-pipe, and a GHL catback. It definitely talks the talk. But as you can see on this extremely tight road, the car's really finely in balance. No one element outweighs the other. So brakes, tires, tires, suspension, chassis, and engine are all kind of in harmony here. But the best thing about this car is once you do a few things to it, I mean, the dynamically is amazing. It's so responsive and fast, and it corners flat, and it makes the right sounds, and it's really reliable. I mean, other than the wheel issue I had, which was aftermarket to begin with, this car is dead to nuts reliable when I need it. It's only got 30,000 on it because it's never been a first car for me. It's always been a weekend car, but when I want it, it's just right there. Got a little bit into the ABS for a second there. This car the ABS isn't great on it. The traction control is terrible. You have to drive with traction control off. But the stop tech stuff works really good. I've got hawk pads. By putting a smaller steering wheel on from stock, I've really improved the directness of the steering. It's a Band-Aid, it doesn't actually change the steering ratio, but with a smaller wheel you gotta move your hands less, and so it gives the illusion of less of a shorter rack even without changing the hardware. Slow Harleys. Probably the worst part about owning this car though is plastic. My absolute least favorite thing about this car at all is the sound it makes when you close the door. It is the cheapest, hollowest, most terrible sound, and I've had toy cars that are built better than that. But from an actual driving and dynamics perspective, it's really as good as 95% of the new cars I drive today. LS1 has a nice mid-range, so even if I'm going quickly, I really don't have to wind it to redline at all. It's got an easy clutch. And even on these really tight sections, I'll take it easy with these houses around here. Even on these tight sections, it's really balanced, it's really sticky. And I'm really able to go quickly in sections where a much smaller car might shine. Of course, if you know me, you know I have Pilot Super Sport tires on this car. They're my favorite tire at the moment. 275s in the front and 295s in the back. This road, though, is just, I mean, it's epic. Technical section right here. I like to start by going down the hill. That way, if you catch up to a cyclist, they're going to be going faster. They're not going to be going 2 miles an hour up the hill. A lot of people, when I put up Instagram videos, all they want to talk about is the car needs to be lower. If you can tell, these roads are actually quite bumpy up here, and so I get that a low car looks cool, and if you have a show car or you're just rolling out to a restaurant or whatever, yeah, low, I get it, but up here, this is a canyon car, and so up here in the canyons, you need some ground clearance, you need some suspension travel, you don't want rub, you don't want to be bottoming out the car. I didn't need to go to third at all there. That was an incorrect shift. Get your brakes nice and hot. That's why I love this big brake kit. It really does. Here's a big bump. Oh, yeah. That's a bumpy section. They've just repaved most of this, though, starting right here, so one of my favorite sections of this road coming up. Just run across this ridge and you can see off both sides. Very undulating road though, and even with this is, you know, by California standards, very good tarmac here. Looking over the left shoulder, clear. There we go. I love the way it pops and crackles coming down off compression. never sell this car. Looking left, there it is. Worth way more to me as a car than it is for the 20 grand or whatever it's actually worth. As we get into the tightest section of road, steering is so direct, even for a 15 or 16-year-old car. And even when you get on power and you hit a bump on the way out, the back end stays planted unless you use really too much throttle. But with so much torque in the mid-range, you don't actually have to use, you know, full throttle hardly ever. We're gonna run this entire road. It might mean this video is long, but what the hell, right? That way, if you guys ever come to California and you want to drive my favorite Malibu road, you can come out and do it. Here's the most interesting section. Watch this. Right. Immediately over crest, back and forth here. Down on camber, little scrape in the front, and then here's the clover leaf. Watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, around, and 5. Woo! Crazy section right there. Very hard on cars. Fortunately, the Vet is meant for taking abuse and is extremely well behaved under enthusiast driving. It runs absolutely ice cold. Why I like coming up here. It's pretty magnificent. One day I will have a house up here and it will be pimp. And I'll have this road will be my driveway. It'll be spectacular. Question is, can we get an entire run all the way to the bottom without being held up by any cars? That would be an Easter miracle, because it happens to be Easter. All right. Interesting off camber right here. There it is. Back end comes around nice. There's just something, you know, I spend all these weekends driving other people's cars, press cars and whatever. There's just, no matter what your car is, whether it's a Vet or a BMW or a Porsche or even something cheap and whatever, there's something about just driving a car that you really know so well. And it's really nice. Bit of a residential neighborhood here as well. Don't worry, the road does open up around this bend. Very famous celebrity lives in this house on the left. Don't want to blow up his spot. Road is a driver's paradise. Okay. The last lower section here is really good. With fresh tarmac to boot. On camber, beautiful. Boom. Right down in there. Back the other way. This car changes directions because not only does it have grip, it dances back and forth. Really, really nice. Brakes are behaving still. to the end. I know I haven't been talking much recently, but I'm very excited about the new wheels. Overall, I think it does improve the steering feel a little bit. I think it improves the directness of the front end a little bit. I can't really feel a difference in acceleration or braking, but they look good. So big ups to HRE for making the FlowForm FF01 wheel look so nice. And I'm just excited that now that I have functional wheels on my car again, that I can go out and drive it a lot this summer. Because as a car that has no real long-term collector value, but sentimental value to me, you want to drive it. You don't want it to sit in the garage. So now I've got some strong wheels. So we're about to be at the end of this road right here. So thank you guys for coming along on this ride with me. And happy Easter. And see you guys with another one take and some more pretty films real soon. But I'm going to turn around and go back up the hill. So, peace.